Settle yourselves into a comfortable position. And as soon as you've arrived in that comfortable place, just allow your eyes to close or your eye gaze to soften. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. Bringing yourself into the very moment in time that this is. So sometimes that can be really hard to start with, especially if you've been busy and preoccupied previous to this in your day. But you don't need to think about all of that at the moment. You just need to think about yourself and giving yourself the most amazing experience that you can. So tune in to any sensation that's created by your breath. But try not to think too much about it. We're not looking for any specific sensation or anything that's completely dramatic. Even the tiniest little thing still counts. If you feel just a slight elevation through the front of your chest, there's still sensation there. And in fact, it's actually quite a skill to tune into the tiniest little sensations. Learn to become a lot more observant. By observing these sensations. It means that we can tune in to just ourselves. It means that we can understand ourselves. So just going to take one more breath here. One more breath out. And then if you're seated, you're going to make your way onto your back. And then everyone bend your knees and place your feet flat to the floor. I'm just going to start by spreading the arms and the shoulder blades down along the ground. And then rolling your hips side to side. So you come from one butt cheek over to the other butt cheek. Making sure that your upper back stays in contact with the floor. We don't create any flaring of the rib cage as we move. So sometimes moving a little bit slower can help us to maintain that control. The whole of the legs stay squeezed together, including the feet, the inner edge of the thighs. And if you want to go a little bit deeper into this, take your feet off the floor, shift your knees so they stack over the top of your hips and continue to roll. When you've done both sides an even amount, stop with your feet in the center. Then keep the knees together, take the feet wider so you can stabilize your pelvis this time. Reach your arms up in front of you, so your hands clasp, but they stay over the sternum, so over your chest. And then roll your shoulders, so your whole upper body side to side. You may need to lift your head off the floor, and that's okay. If your arms start to bend at all, then you're trying to bring your arms further than your torso will actually move. Keep your belly slightly drawn in, gently drawn in. And then again, once you've done both sides an even amount, you're going to bring your legs back together, you're going to let the arms go, and then you're going to roll completely onto your right side. So your hips stay stacked over one another, your shoulders stacked over one another. You can create a little pillow with your arm that's on the bottom. Should I say right side? Yeah, so your right arm. Your left arm then, you're going to stretch it out in front of you and then open towards the ceiling and then to the back, maybe allowing your torso to move with it, so it's not just your arm that moves. Hips stay still, so the more you bring your knees up towards your chest, sometimes the easier that can be to anchor the lower body. So arms. You're going to do 5. Once you've done 5, you start back in the original position, circle the arm up overhead, allowing the torso to twist with you. So we'll do 5 circles then. In each direction, that is. If it feels particularly nice in one place, you're welcome to just hang out in that place or move through that area really slowly. And then once you've done 5, you'll do the same on the other side, so rolling over completely onto the left side. But there's no rush if you're still going. Create a little pillow then with the left hand. Right arm reaches across the front. And then lift the fingertips towards the ceiling and then turn it to the ground, then behind your back. So again, we get that rotation through the upper part of the spine. So you're doing 5. And then keep squeezing the legs together to keep the hips really still. And then once you've done 5, you're going to circle 5 times in each direction. Again, allowing the torso to roll with you, but keeping the hips still and anchored. And if you imagine that you're kind of hugging your arm bone into the socket as you move. And if you don't think about the muscles as such, if you just think about the action of the joint, you can help it feel a little bit more freer. Once you've done your 5 in each direction, make your way up into a seated position. Doesn't matter which position, as long as you don't get pins and needles in your feet. Then taking one hand to the side of your head, gently drawing your head up and at an angle. So we get this length into the upper traps here. Then your other arm can move around. Maybe even all the way across to the other knee. Can feel quite nice, or it really depends on where in your neck and your shoulders. Feels tight, to be honest, but yeah. If you find a really nice place, you can just stay there. And then press your head into your hands to turn it back up. We're going to place the hand that was down onto the side of your sternum, the side of your chest. Other hand then places on top. Pull the skin down and then just move your head. So again, you can experiment. You might want to lift the chin up over to the other side. You may notice that underneath the jaw. That's a really weird sensation, isn't it? So you're lengthening the muscles down the skin fascia down as you're lifting the structure of your head up. Wow, that's all I can say about that. That was way more sensational than I was expecting it to be. Gently walk your hand then round to the front of your chest. And then lift your chin up as you pull that skin down. Yeah. Who knew, eh? Who knew? Then you can move, you can stay in the same place. This looks really funny, by the way. I'm going to gently lower your chin down. We'll do that other side on the neck. So hand to the side of the head, other arm down. Gently lift your neck up and then tilt. So we get a little gentle pulling sensation. So you use a little bit extra weight to gain that length. Move that arm around as you wish. Yeah, if you choose, if you find a spot that feels like you just need to be there, then you can stay there. Push your head into your hand to return it back to upright. Then place the lower hand on the skin on the side of your chest. Place the other hand on the top, pull it down. Lift your chin. Experiment. Move around. Just feel. Move your hand around to the centre of your chest again, just underneath your neck. And again, just like lift the chin forwards and up as you pull the skin down. Gently lower the chin down and remove your hands. If you need to do anything else, do it. Hopefully feel a little bit freer around that. It feels like my head's going to fall off now. Boink. There's nothing there to support it anymore. Turn over onto your hands and knees. Hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Breathing in, opening the chest into upward cat. Breathing out into downward cat. Flowing between the two, maybe having a little shake of your hips side to side, or rolling around. And then slide the toes together, hips back, reach the arms forwards into child's pose. Have your arms as wide as feels comfortable on your body, and feel your neck and your shoulders. Take your eye gaze towards the fingertips. Striking cobra, pull the chest through the arms, either stay low into cobra or lift into upward dog. Exhale, drop the knees down around the spine, cat into child's pose. Do that 3 more times. Inhale forwards. If you want to stay in cobra, squeeze the mid back, keep the elbows hugged in. Exhaling back, push the ground away. Inhale, come forwards. If you choose to come to upward dog, lift your thighs off the floor, push down through the tops of the feet. Exhaling back. Now on this last one, as we come out of your back bend, knees down, sit back, drag your hands forwards, then inhale, lift up, open into camel. You can have your hands as wide as you wish. Circle then the arms down or round. behind the back, pull the belly in and open the chest more. So you don't have to bend far at all here. Keep length in your spine. Knees are already on the ground, I mean, hips to heels, hands to ground, child's pose. Then let's do that again. Inhale, eyes forward, striking cobra into upward dog if you wish. Drag your legs forward. Knees down, around the spine, downward cat, pull the belly in, sit the hips back, drag the hands back towards the knees. Then inhale, reach up into camel. Pull everything in around the center of your waist, in and up. Exhale, arms circle around back. Squeeze the mid back. Inhale, open the chest. Exhale, start to lift the knuckles up behind you here. If that's too much, clasp the forearms and then try and do the same thing. So you just get, or bend the elbows a little bit more. So we open out, we get a shoulder extension and open out more. Hips back, pull the belly in, hands down, child's pose. Eye gaze forward, striking cobra, breathing in. Push down through the whole of the hand head, breathing out, knees down around the spine, cat, pull the belly in and up. Sit the hips back, drag the hands to the heels, then inhale, camel. Exhale, open. Inhale, mid back squeezes, bum squeezes as well. Exhale, lift the knuckles up and back. Hips back. Inhale here, exhale, child's pose. Let's do that again. Come forwards on the inhale. Pull the shoulder blades back and down away from your neck. Exhale. Push from the rib cage into the floor. Hips back, arms up, breathe in. Push the shins down. Height is far more important than any bend. Exhale. Try not to let the hips or that back arch here and the hips go back. Circle the arms behind all the way down. Inhale, mid-back squeezes, shoulders draw down. Exhale, lift the hands up behind you. Hips back. One more time. I might have said that just a moment ago, I'm not really sure. Definitely one more time. Inhale, striking cobra. Exhale, round. Inhale, height and length in your camel. Exhale, feel a wave of softness in your upper body. Inhale, clasp. Squeeze the waist all the way around. Exhale, lift the hands up as high as you can. So I know it's not going to be far. It's anatomically impossible to go far. Hips back, arms reach forwards, child's pose. This time striking cobra on the inhale. Exhaling into downward dog, hips up and back. Just spend a few moments here pedaling the feet up and down or doing whatever you need to do to find a really comfortable place in your downward dog. You can just stay still if you wish. Screw the hands into the floor. We just want to make sure the back is long and straight, so if you need to, bend the knees a little bit more to get that in place. Inhale to plank. Bring the shoulders forwards. Then either on the toes or on the knees. We're just going to do a few little scapular push-ups. So here the arms stay straight. We have a neutral spine, and then we push away from the ground. Neutral spine, push away from the ground. Also on this next one, bend your elbows, lower yourself down all the way to the floor. Inhale into your back bends. Exhale, downward dog. And then we can do that same action in your downward dog if you wish, or just hold your downward dog. But we have, notice where your shoulders are. Push your hands into the floor until you feel your shoulders lifting onto your ears. Then drop them back down. Push, drop, push, drop, push, drop. Come forward to plank. Again, knees or toes. Again, same thing. Feel your shoulder blades. separating as you push the ground away, drawing together as you drop the chest back down to neutral. So this pushing action comes from your pec minor and your serratus anterior, which wraps, I'll point now, around here, the side of your rib cage and the very top part here of your chest. Lower yourself down to the floor. Inhale, cobra or upward dog. Exhale, back into child's pose this time. Slide your right arm underneath the left arm, but without rotating, just keep your shoulders square to the floor. If it feels like your right shoulder is lifting up towards your neck and your shoulders, pull it down so your arm is more underneath your chest. So you get that stretch through the shoulder abductors. Gently unravel, swap sides. Thread the left arm underneath the right arm. Again, both shoulders square to the floor still. Unravel back into child's pose. This time, you're going to lift the knees over the, lift the hips over the knees. So we come up onto all fours. Thread the right arm underneath. This time we're going to twist. So then you drop the shoulder to the floor, or you can place it on something if it doesn't quite get there. Other arm, you can reach it forwards or draw it back to create a 90-degree angle. So you just pick where feels nicest for you today. Press your shins down into the floor and your inner thighs push outwards to stabilize the hips. Take 3 more breaths here. Spreading width into the rib cage as you inhale. Softness into the ground as you exhale. And as you unravel, draw the bottom arm out. Thread the other arm over to the other side, trying to get the shoulder central between your 2 legs. If that feels good for your body, and if that doesn't mean that your hips twist all the way to the other side as a result, if that does, just draw your shoulder a little bit closer to the left side again. Hips anchored. A little squeeze of the belly in. Observing sensation, feeling, bringing you right into this moment in time. Unravel after your next exhalation. And then this time, lay all the way down onto your front. My belly just went really loudly now. I don't know if you heard that. Take one arm out to the side. Again, make sure your hand is more level with the side of your chest and not your shoulder. Roll over onto that side. Use the other arm again to assist you, and then you can take the top leg all the way around as far as it will go if you wish. Rolling your chest away from the floor up towards the ceiling. If you don't want to move that top leg round, don't worry, you don't have to. Take one more breath in. One more breath out. And then roll back onto your front. Changing sides, so sliding the other arm out. Rolling over onto that side, top leg slides as far back as feels amazing for you. So let it feel like the palm of your hand is pressing down into the floor and you're almost rolling your forearm into the ground to get more rotation out of the shoulder. Can you roll your whole torso to the ground behind you a little bit more? Increasing that rotation, sensation. Unraveling this time. You're going to go back onto the other side. You're going to create a 90-degree angle with your at your elbow. You can see that. Adjust your position as to the place which feels best for your body. And again, you can slide the top leg round if your mobility allows it. If it doesn't, you don't have to move it anywhere. And in fact, you can place the foot in front of you a bit more to give you more assistance to push your hip back. But yeah, it's entirely up to you where you go. But this way we get into the shoulder. We also get a little bit more intensely into the side of the chest. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Trying to submit into the sensation and intensity. Unraveling, rolling over onto the other side, and creating that 90-degree bend in the arm. Optional top leg sliding back. Sometimes just that extra little bit of weight here helps you to use a bit more assistance into that rotation. Depends how far back you can get your leg, or even how long your leg is. Gently unravel, slide your hands back level with the chest. Push in or lift into upward dog or cobra. Exhale, cat into child's pose. Inhale, striking cobra, lifting into upward dog. Exhale into downward dog. Soften the knee, step your right leg forwards between the hands to lunge. Drop the back knee to the ground. Pull the belly in so we're not relaxing the abdominals. Then as we come up, cross the right arm underneath the left arm. Pull the hips back as you need. So we get this deep stretch in the hip flexor. And that also the stretch through the shoulder. Just trying to fall over. So if you want a little extra in the shoulder stretch, drop the elbows down and then turn the hands on the left diagonal so we get right into the rotator cuff of the arm that's on top. So that's 11 o'clock. Now here, keep pulling the belly in and up. The more we kind of lift the torso away from the hips, the more we can get into the hip flexor. Now, if you can always choose to stay here, but if you can, we're then going to pull the hips back and hinge a little to get into the hamstring stretch. Making sure you're putting your right hip bone back and pressing down through the base of the big toe. Inhaling, coming forwards through the legs back into lunge, lifting the arms up this time. Drawing the hips back. Hinge at the hip so your spine stays long. It's our ultimate balance challenge at the same time, isn't it? Then elbows up, press down through the shin of the back foot to give you more stability and the whole of that front foot. Awesome, this time hips back, let go of the arms. Half monkey or half pyramid. If you wish to lift the toes off the floor, then you can. Then the knee, shift the weight forwards. Stepping, or bring your hands to the floor, lift the back knee, step back into downward dog. And let's do the same on the other side, so stepping, left leg forwards, the other leg forwards, relaxing the back foot, placing that knee on the floor. Then this time left arm underneath the right arm, pulling the weight back. So we're going to focus on the stretch through the hip flexor of the right side. And then your arms with a more deeper rotator cuff stretch. Tilt your arms to 2 o'clock, so go right diagonal. Engage the belly to lift the rib cage up. The shoulders drawing down as well here. Alright, pull the hips back. Hinge forwards. Grounding the whole of that left foot. Pulling the belly in. This is not the time to have an itchy nose, is it? I think it's my hair's tickling me under my nose. Inhale, come back up into your lunge. Hip flexor stretch. This time lift the elbows up. Keep pressing the elbows together as well. Awesome, hips back, hinge. Notice here what this leg is doing. If the knee's pointing inwards, you might need to pull the left hip bone back and slide the inner edge of the knee out a bit more. One more hip stretch, come up. Shift the weight back a bit, press down through the back shin, the right shin. This time as you come down into your hamstring stretch, relax the arms. Use them for support wherever. Pull the hip back, you can lift the toes, you can keep the foot down, whatever is nice for you. Let's take one more breath in, drag the heel back along the floor, one more breath out, suck the belly in. Then shift the weight forwards, bring your hands on the inside of the foot, lift the back knee, step back into downward dog. Lift your right leg, this time three-legged dog. Square the hips to the floor. Really stretch both legs as far away as possible. Push evenly into both arms. Step the foot forwards between the hands. Lunge. This time take a twist towards the right leg. So right arm reaches up. If you want to drop the back knee, then you can. If you want to go a little deeper, cross the left arm outside the right arm. And then you can always wrap the right arm behind the opposite hip. If you want to bind, you can reach through, find the fingers. So wherever you are, keep the hips square to the floor. The rotation always comes from the spine. I'm going to take 3 more breaths here, in whatever twist you're in. And then gently unravel. Also bring your hands to the floor. Step the back foot in if you wish. Pyramid pose. Pull the hips back and up, suck the belly in. Three more breaths. Press the chest down towards the shin, down towards the thigh. Feel the intensity as much as you can. Shifting the weight forwards, stepping back into downward dog. Left leg rises, three-legged dog. Pull the belly in. Push into the ground from the sides of your ribcage, through the armpits, down into the thumbs. Step the foot forwards, place the foot between the hands, lunge. Twist. So again, choose where you want to be, knee up, knee down. Crossing. the right arm over the left knee if you wish, wrapping the arm behind the back, maybe finding the bind if it works for you on this side. I have no idea what my housemates are doing, but like this ceiling is rattling right now. Squeeze the belly in. See if you can climb your shoulder all the way around the outside of your knee. Get as much sensation as you can. 3 more breaths. Yeah, amazing. Gently unravel pyramid pose. Step the back foot in a little bit. Heel can be up there or heel down. Pull the hips back and up. Find your fold. You've got a small child climbing on top of you, isn't you? Re-engage the abdominals, pull the belly in underneath the rib cage, pressing the inner edge of the ball of the foot down on both feet. So almost sucking everything up as high as we can so we can draw everything closer together. 3 more breaths. And then bending the front knee, stepping the leg back into downward dog. Drop the knees down to the floor, child's pose. Doing whatever your body needs right now. And shift your weight forwards. Bring your forearms down onto the floor, palms pressing down. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up into dolphin pose. So again, you can have your heels as high as you need. You almost try to squeeze your elbows towards each other, but also screw like the inner edge of your hands down into the floor. Lifting the chest back towards the knees to get that intense stretch through the shoulders, the chest. Relaxing the neck. You can take 3 more breaths here. So if you want a little bit more, walk your feet in, touch. And then gently lower your knees back to the floor. Child's pose. This time, bringing the palms together, hands then clasped just behind the head. Elbows walking a little bit closer to the side of your head, and then drag your hips back until you feel a deeper stretch through your triceps. feeling the fullness of every single breath. Gently releasing the hands, rolling over onto your back. And hugging the knees in towards the chest. Just allowing each muscle along the back of your body and spine just to soften into the floor. And then placing left foot to the floor, cross the right thigh over the left thigh. Lift the hips, slide them to the right side of your mat. Allow the legs to fall to the left side of your mat. Both arms wherever is comfortable, so your shoulders stay nestling down into the ground. Eye gaze, look down towards the right side to continue the rotation into the neck. And if you need to adjust your position to any other rotation that feels better for you, then you're welcome to go there. If you want to fill any space around you with cushions, then go for it. Let's take 3 more breaths here. Slowly feeling your body melting. And as we unravel, we come back into the centre, uncrossing the leg, crossing the left thigh over the right thigh, picking the hips up, sliding them to the left edge of the mat, and then allowing the hips and the legs to roll to the right. Eye gaze this time, looks down your left arm. Taking the last 3 breaths here, letting yourself drop. And when you're ready, slowly returning back to the centre and then choosing a comfortable position to be in for the last few moments. Following every breath in its entirety. Not trying to alter anything. Just being the observer. Take a deep breath in. Observe the sensation. As you let it go, observe the sensation. And slowly bringing your awareness back into your physical body. Making some gentle movements to your fingers, to your toes. Maybe stretching your arms and exhale. doing anything else that your body needs to awaken. And your own time, in your own way, sit yourself back up.